Hi 5R, soon to be 6H. I'm Miss Harris. I am going to be your new teacher, which I am incredibly excited about because I've heard lots of wonderful things about you. We are going to be Morpurgo class. So I would like to read you the first few pages of what is going to be our class reader when you come back. It is from a book called Boy Giant, and it is an adventure story. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. It's all about a journey and a new beginning, which I thought was quite appropriate because that's what we're about to embark on together. So here we are. Michael Morpurgo, Boy Giant. Chapter 1. Tiny, they called me. All we knew about her was that she called herself JJ, that she spoke English, that she was alone out there in her big yellow rowing boat, and that she was like a giant to all three of us, even me. A giant with a bandaged wrist and plasters on her fingers. So tell me, she said, tell me everything. Well, I could hardly refuse, could I? I mean, this JJ had saved our lives. It was thanks only to this stranger that we were dry again, warm, well fed and rested. I mean, she went on, I want to know how it is that you're out here on the open ocean in such a small boat. Who are you? Where have you come from? I could have asked her much the same questions, but I found myself telling her our whole story. I was happy to tell her too, not just because she'd shown us such kindness, but because once I began telling her our story out loud, it somehow helped me to believe it had already happened. Helped me to remember who I was, who I had become. That she would believe me, I had no doubt. After all, she had the evidence right in front of her. She could hardly take her eyes off the evidence. The three of us were there to prove it. We were the truth of our own story. I began at the beginning, because without the beginning, none of it would have made sense to her. And anyway, none of it would have ever happened. I would never have to leave home, and my life would have been another story altogether. It's quite a long story, I told her. That's fine, she said. I need to rest this wrist anyway. Can't row far like this. So I began. Where I come from is no longer my home. There was a house and a village I once called my home, in Afghanistan. I had a family of my own once. Not anymore. My name, Omar. My mother, I don't know where she is. I think and I hope she might be in England with Uncle Saeed. I was on my way to find her. That's why we were out here on our little boat when you found us. And we found you. I don't know anymore what day or month or year it is, but I think I must now be about 16 years old. Of my beginnings, of my home, there's not much to tell. And I don't like to speak of it or think of it because it makes me sad to remember. My home was a quiet place in a peaceful town in the countryside. We lived on the edge of town. My father was a shepherd. Our flock was our livelihood. We never went hungry or thirsty. I had a little sister, Hanan. She and I were very much loved in our home. We were together. We were all happy. So, 5R soon to be 6H, when you come back in September, which I'm very much looking forward to, we will find out what happens next on Omar's journey as we begin our own together. I hope that you and your families have a really wonderful, relaxing, enjoyable summer. And remember to take part in the summer reading challenge. So keep your reading going over the summer. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you back in school in September. Take care. Bye-bye.